Hi, everybody. I am just introducing our speaker. My name's Chris Wright, and I'm a CSM with Mendix. So thank you all for coming today, and I hope you're enjoying Mendix World. The talk that we're about to see comes from a speaker that is a board member at NHG, National Mortgage Group of Netherlands. And she's a senior director, and throughout her career, she has led a number of digital transformations, business transformations at varieties of industries and financial services. So, without further ado, I would like to welcome Carla Muters of NHG. Welcome, Carla.
Thank you. Thank you. Hi, everybody. First, I want to tell you something about NHG because it's a special organization, a small organization. And we had a major transfer to another IT system for our core product. And that's what I want to tell you about. Please ask questions in between, that's fine. First about NHG and myself. I've been a director in other environments, in financial institutions in the Netherlands, and almost always with transitions, dealing with transitions in which IT has a major role all the time, and even getting a bigger role now. We are located in Utrecht. We moved a few months ago in the center, so it's a picture of the building we're in now. We're a small organization. We're only 90 people, but we have a really huge impact on the Dutch market, on the Dutch mortgage market. And that's what I want to show you, a short movie about what we are doing, so then you can see what the impact of the IT system is.
1,4 miljoen huishoudens in Nederland hebben een hypotheek met NHG. En jaarlijks komen er hier ruim 100.000 bij. Nationale Hypotheek Garantie staat voor verantwoorde woonfinanciering voor iedereen. Wij vinden dat een woning kopen, behouden en verbeteren voor zoveel mogelijk mensen bereikbaar moet zijn. Om een hypotheek met NHG af te sluiten zijn geldverstrekkers en hypotheekadviseurs dagelijks afhankelijk van onze systemen. Deze waren nog niet klaar voor een toekomst waarin we maatwerkoplossingen willen bieden en het hypotheekproces steeds verder gedigitaliseerd en geautomatiseerd wordt. Tijd voor actie dus! NHG startte een succesvolle samenwerking met Apronto en het Mendix-platform, waarbij een flexibel applicatielandschap werd vormgegeven voor intern en extern gebruik. Via een Agile Scrum-werkwijze hebben wij stap voor stap nieuwe systemen ontwikkeld en direct uitgerold. Hierbij zijn miljoenen digitale bestanden veilig gemigreerd en alle geldverstrekkers in Nederland aangesloten. De dienstverlening rond het verstrekken van Nederlands belangrijkste hypotheekproduct is daarbij zonder onderbreking doorgegaan. En dit allemaal binnen een bijzonder korte tijd van 1,5 jaar en binnen budget. Door deze digitale transformatie is er al een enorme verandering zichtbaar. We zijn veel wendbaarder geworden. Veel werk is gedigitaliseerd. De systemen zijn geschikt voor consumenten en worden intensief gebruikt. Zo zijn er inmiddels miljoenen online hypotheektoetsen uitgevoerd. Ook beviel de Agile Scrum-werkwijze zo goed dat de organisatie deze manier van werken heeft geadopteerd. IT als aandrijver voor organisatie-innovatie. We zijn enorm trots dat groepen die eerder moeilijker hun woonwensen konden financieren, zoals ZZP'ers en senioren, nu wel de mogelijkheden hebben om aan een hypotheek te komen. In de toekomst blijven we kijken naar de mogelijkheden om continu te blijven verbeteren en bij te sturen waar nodig. De digitale transformatie. Doorslaggevend voor het succes van NHG.
That's a brief introduction about what we did and who we are as an organization. There's a small mistake in the slide, but these are the numbers from 2018, end of. We're a small organization, but with a lot of customers in the Netherlands. 1.4 million households who have a national mortgage guarantee. Each year, about 100,000 new mortgages are added. So that's a lot. Liabilities, more than 200 billion. So that's a real big number. And assets under management, 1.2 million. So that's to give a brief introduction about small organization, big impact in the mortgage and in the financial sector. What we do is we want to help consumers with responsible house financing, so with responsible mortgages. And we're helping them to get access and to get a responsible mortgage, but also it's payable, sustainable, and with good processes. So that's our goal. When you see our position in the market, we have a lot of stakeholders, and this was really important for the IT transformation as well. Because we have a lot of advisors and mortgage lenders that check our IT, our software, to see if the mortgage guarantee is met, the standards are met, and to tell us when a new mortgage guarantee is closed. So we get a lot of information. And we also have other parties involved, like the politics, the ministries of finance and internal affairs, and also the authorities, so the Dutch authority for financial markets. So we have a lot of stakeholders involved, and that's why the transition was even had more impact. Our partners use our system to test if a mortgage is possible under the mortgage guarantee. So that's what they are checking, and they're when a new mortgage guarantee is closed, they'll inform us, of course. So we have a lot of connections with all these partners, and also, when consumers get into payment problems, they'll notice us because we have the guarantee, and we'll see if the mortgage lender and the consumer get paid for the loss. What we try in there is if consumers can keep their home, so we are always looking to help consumers to that they can keep living in their home. What we saw in our IT landscape, we had some market demands that were changing and internal demands that were changing. In market demands, online channels, 24/7, a number of different mortgage products and services that changed, and they changed more rapidly than before, and we wanted to adapt to the change. And we have a lot of stakeholders who use our IT systems or have connections, and it had to be improved. So also from our stakeholders and mortgage lenders, there was this was a question. Internally, we were moving from an administrative organization to a business-driven organization. So how can we help consumers even better and mortgage lenders even better? How can we improve the market? We're not a commercial organization. So, but our movement had different demands for the IT system. Our workforce was also demanding for a new system, because there were a lot of it was a lot of handwork, and we had a lot of applications. So finally, we wanted to optimize our internal processes and data improvement. So these were So then we said we want to have a new IT landscape, and we had 3 main drivers for it. So strategically, we wanted to offer new services. Tactical, we wanted to innovate and integrate and use all the digital possibilities. And operational, we wanted to have the process and data optimization. So that's these are the main drivers for us. The situation before was that we had 6 different operational systems, and these are all had different techniques, and so this was really complicated. Different suppliers, different techniques, Java, .NET, Access, all these applications. So it was quite hard to support this as well. What we did, we wanted to have a new IT system, and we had a process to get there. And I thought maybe this is interesting for you. What was our process? We had a request for information, and we sent it to 12 vendors. From there on, we went to a request for proposal, and we selected 5 vendors. Then we had a proof of concept, and with 3 vendors, and all these criteria in between were about meeting our standards, meeting our request. We didn't want to have a long process, so we did this process in 1.5 years. But these were criteria, of course, costs. Then we had a site visit to the parties involved. We visited all these vendors. We visited customers of the vendors to see the application and the IT systems working. And then in the 5th step, we contracted Mendix because it was the best fit, and we did that together with Apronto, who helped us build the IT system. What happened here? Why Mendix? I think that's also nice for you to know. But please ask any questions if there are. Yeah.
Did you ask for a solution, or did you ask for a platform and a service provider separately?
Did we ask for a solution or a platform separately? I don't think we looked at it in that way. So I think the combination, we had Mendix as a platform, but the solution, what you do with it, it was together with Apronto to see what was developed and was good for National Mortgage Guarantee, and what was helping us with our demands. So that's. But why Mendix? We said we had 5 reasons shortly. The ability to launch new products in a short time, so the time to market. We have all of these small changes in mortgage criteria. So that was it was 6 times faster than before, than traditional development. Drag and drop functionality. The proof of concept fully met our requirements. And actually what we did, we had a pre-investigation, and we paid for it together with Mendix and Apronto. And we did that to have another go, no-go moment. But we saw in the pre-investigation, we discovered that everything that was offered was possible. So there were no real big changes. We got a real good backlog out of the investigation to start with, And we had some changes in the order, the steps we were taking. Yes?
One question. You were not bound to the tendering legal rules we have in the Netherlands for your type of organizations, because normally the government or semi-government institutions must use tendering. Or is it too long ago?
And what do you think?
I think this is a way of tendering. Yeah, but tendering procedure. It was a tendering procedure.
We are not a governmental organization. We're a private organization, so we weren't bound, or we had no. No. Yeah, it looks like semi. We have our organization is a special organization between government and market, but not. It's not. Not bound or connected. It's a private organization, and we have an appointment with the government that if we don't have any money left to help consumers, they are standing behind us. But that's only in how do you say it? In regulations, in statuten, in our no vendor lock-in. We could change implementation partner, but we thought that's important to make our own choices. So that was one of the criteria. We had required time to make the transition. It was important not take too long, and with as little inconveniences as possible, because we have all these relations. In a month, we get more than 1 million requests or tests for the National Mortgage Guarantee. So that's the size. It's really big, and we wanted to have as little inconveniences as possible. And the last reason was partnership and trust. We had a good match with what we wanted, and with Apronto as well, and with Mendix. So they did a good job during the selection process, and their approach and presentation was of high level. So that was also important. We chose the Mendix-based custom ERP system. We started this successful cooperation with Mendix and Apronto. We had 6 legacy systems, and they were replaced in 1.5 years. Both internal, external usage. And we did that as an Agile Scrum approach. And in the meantime, everything had to go on. So that was really important. Actually, we did this in 3 phases. The first one was about the testing software, where we get the mortgage tests. The second was about the claim area, and the last one was the core process. So we did it in a different order as what we thought at first. And the pre-investigation, in the pre-investigation, we discovered this was the best approach. So we did everything around at first, and had some temporary connections between the old and new world, therefore. But the core business was in phase 3 launched. This is the situation after, and what we did, we have in the Mendix platform, we have 6 applications. The portal, the guarantee management, workflow management, claim management, payment problem management, and API management. And what we, for us, it was a big difference to the situation before, because this is one platform, one technique, one supplier. It was much more easy for us. Also, the one look and feel for our all the stakeholders and chain partners, and support is much more easy. So that's
moving other functionalities from the special domains. I see top desk, I see other things like typo 3, are you going to move that also to the Mendix environment, or are you keeping it in the container there?
Yeah, I have at the end. I thought, and what's next? So there, no, but that's fine. I don't know yet, but we are evaluating in what to do, because what we did here was a transition of, we had all these processes in 6 different applications, and we moved to one platform. And now we're looking at more innovation, and maybe processes can be redesigned. So we have a lot of things about processes, but also about the whole landscape. So the architectural question as well, to see if there's even more improvement possible. So that's.
How hard was it on board level to introduce Mendix? Because my experience is that not every company has a sort of IT leadership in the board. They're very conservative, and they are afraid, and they have accountants and people saying, I shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
How's your experience with that?
Well, we did the process as from 12 to 5 to 3 vendors. There's a whole process, and it was really well done. So that was important. Also, the site visits to other customers. But what you see in our organization, it's a small organization, so it can depend on one person. So the small organization is then an advantage, actually, because all the people involved, and it was okay. But I think you're right; it needs leadership, and it's also the next phase, because we want to innovate even further and see how can we deal with even more digitization and data optimization. So it's really a question about taking ownership. That's the difference, yeah.
How many users access the Mendix platform, internally and externally?
How many users? Do you know, Bas?
Internally about 60, 70, something like that.
Even our small organization, but not everybody, but 60.
Externally it's a lot.
Really a lot. It is.
I don't know the numbers by heart.
Yeah, and because
Every
mortgage lender.
mortgage lender in Holland has got access either through the portal or through the API to do the tests.
Yeah, because in companies, mortgage lenders, they're, I don't know, maybe 100 or, but there are many people working there, so that's.
We're processing about 30,000 requests a day on average of mortgage tests communication, and then on peak days that can go up to 100,000.
Yeah.
We have 30K of users in our system.
Yeah. So we can get more. Okay. Okay. These are the numbers we already spoke about. We get more than 1 million mortgage requests every month. Tests, actually. It's not a real application, but it's a test to see if the mortgage is according to the criteria of the National Mortgage Garantie. Now we have monthly IT releases, and that's really good because we have a lot of improvements, and we can monthly release them. We have new features and improvements every month. Sometimes it's small things, but it's also about, in the short movie you saw, it's about helping flex workers or new groups in society. We can help them with a product. Small features, but we can do it monthly now, so that's really good. And we have all the drivers that we had before, and I mentioned before that these are achieved. We also had some learnings, and I thought maybe that is interesting for you as well. What did we learn? Cooperation, of course, it's really important, but organize them together, business and IT departments. We're a small organization, and we were before in another building, and these are the people were on different levels only. So you think, oh, it's okay, but really organize them together. That's really important to get the best results. Preparation, user stories, good user stories in advance. Business analysts, that's a crucial input to the process. So good business analyst, proper fulfillment. Agile Scrum is not always the best approach because we worked Agile Scrum, but not always in the mathematical model finish it first before modeling. So otherwise you're not efficient. Scope, of course, also a big issue, but it's key to the Scrum approach. And as I told you, you want to innovate at the same time when you think, oh, maybe we can do that as well, or and so your scope is getting bigger and bigger, and we really had to keep the scope like the way we wanted at the beginning. But that was really difficult. So the product owner must excel in scope management. The ratio developers and testers 1-to-1. Mendix allows rapid development. And the Agile Scrum approach in general turned out to be productive. Implementation across the organization. Now, what's next? Oh, sorry. Yeah, the business analyst, the question is it an internal or external? We did both. We had 2 internal and 1 external. So we did it in a really small, it's still a small transformation, but yeah. We did both because we needed extra for the transition, extra competencies as well. So, but internal is it's important to get the business and really the business drive and information and learning. So.
Another question. Can you tell us something about the business case? What was, let's say, financially the result of this turnaround? Did it save you money?
Yeah. The question is about the business case and did it save money or anything, or what was our? We had these 6 IT systems, so it saved us money to get that more efficient. But in the same time, we wanted to have more. We had more demands, like the 24/7 or the monthly releases, and so we had more demands. And in terms of a business case, what we see is that it, of course, was a business case because the demands had to be met. But in financial terms, there was it wasn't the biggest driver. What I see of what I saw later after the implementation, we had a reorganization, but we're a small company, so 15 people out of 90, 15 people lost their jobs. So there is a business case, but there were some different elements in it. It's quite hard to say like, oh, there was this and this now, and we see it even now. We want to innovate further, and then I don't want to say like, oh, we are doing this to make it more or less complex, but we'll save money, because I don't believe it. I think you have to continue to invest in IT and data. So
Financially was not your biggest driver.
no, it wasn't.
Have you decommissioned your old systems now?
Yeah, these old systems, yeah, we did. Yeah. 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 We decommissioned the systems. I don't know if I'll repeat the question.
How big is your IT department? And do you have Mendix developers yourself?
How big is the IT department, and do we have Mendix developers ourselves? Our IT department is about 15 people, so not a lot. And we have the Mendix development is still with a Pronto. So we have external developers, but we are thinking about internalizing development. So maybe we're going to do that, but now it's externally. But these people are on our floor with us in house, are like like internal people almost. So that's yeah.
That's a continuous process from your side, so that means continuous developing, or did you have a cut for the project that you say, okay, I start here and this is the
Yeah.
timeline of our project and now we are done with it, or is it a continuous process?
Yeah. The question is it a continuous project, the development and what we are doing, or was there a beginning and an end? It's continuous, and it is that way also because we see all these improvements, and we can do more. So it's continuous improvements. These are sometimes about new features we want, new products or new services, but most of the time it's improvements. It's really in the operational processes or in data or improving any further. A bit bigger is now our step in what's next. Our strategy is to help people with responsible mortgage financing. We have 3 areas, main areas in our strategy, that's helping more people with access to responsible mortgage financing. So we want to help more people, like senior citizens or I was looking for the word ondernemer, the entrepreneur, yeah. So we see these groups to help them with access to mortgage financing. Entrepreneurs before couldn't have a mortgage until they were 3 years working as an entrepreneur and had these financial figures. And what we did after 1 year, it's now possible to get a mortgage. And this method is also used for mortgages without national mortgage guarantee. So what you see is in the market, it's the standard is spoken as the national mortgage guarantee acceptance criteria. And all the things we do, and these developments can be used by mortgage lenders for all mortgages. So the impact is quite large. But is more access for people to is one, process improvements and helping consumers live affordable and sustainable. So these are important strategy items. And what's next? More digitization, so continuous, or is it a new step? Well, what we want to do is in the financial sector, you see all these different administrations, like an advisor and a mortgage lender, and we have our administration, and how can we improve even further? So and use data, and where is the data, and who has the the right situation in the administration, otherwise you're always comparing. So we want to improve even more, and we want to improve our processes, because what you see, what we did, and maybe that's a learning as well, but we made this transition, and we said, well, we have these processes and we build them in a new system. What you can do is say, well, we want to do this transition, but also innovation at the same time. I think it would have taken us 3 years or something, and now it was 1.5. So, well, these are choices to make. But this is what happened, and now we want to innovate even further. These are really big things, because it has a big impact in the market as well. I think this is the presentation, and more questions. Yeah.
What was the impact on your consumers' acceptance and consumer klanttevredenheid?
Yeah, customer satisfaction. Yeah. What was the impact on customer satisfaction and our chain partners or mortgage lenders? What we learned as well is we have to inform the mortgage lenders sooner, or get them involved sooner. So that's what we try to do now. But that was really a big learning, because we changed things, and they have their own planning. But it improved. Everything improved, but I think nowadays it can improve better. It can improve even more. And for the consumers, they don't really notice the difference. I think it's really more the mortgage lender. The consumers, well, they have a mortgage at a bank, or and then we get the test, or we get the mortgage guarantee application. But consumers won't notice. I think it's a bit black and white, because of course we can inform them now better, because we have better data and better systems. But mostly mortgage lenders are our contacts in the IT system, actually. And this was an improvement, because we had all these different databases as well. We had 6 systems, but in every system, data was there, databases were there, and sometimes it was by hand it turned to another database. So, well. But we didn't we didn't measure like satisfaction before and after. So I can't really say the numbers, but monthly releases and everything, and inform all our mortgage lenders, chain partners, is really important, and that's working well. So that's good.
You recreated all the actions. I think, as I right understand, you had different applications in the past, and these applications, I think, work not directly together, maybe with some exchanges or something like that. And did you have recreated all the processes, or have you selected specific stories and that what you expect from this software, and then you recreated that specific change in your application? Or you try to get everything.
Like the question is, did you recreate, and you mean like we had the current situation, build a new one, or is that the?
Have you selected specific actions that you require, or have you tried to get maybe also other functionalities that you could probably need in the future?
Oh no, what we did in this transition is really the way it was, the processes, and the way it was, and this is the main product. So we set everything testing until the payment problems, or everything has to be in the scope here. But we didn't create new functionalities, and I think that's really an important choice to consider, because now we have now another innovation upcoming. You can do it at the same time. Could have been done, but it was a choice not to. So the new functionality or new things and further innovation is really now a new step to take. Yeah, and improvements are continuously, but